Hello, my friends. For those who don't know me, I'm known as Brother Sean, and I'm the barefoot Franciscan monk for my sin, jokingly, and I live a very simple life as an independent, enclosed contemplative Franciscan. And I come to you this morning with a short reflection. And the reflection is, I love Jesus, then what? But first I would like to read to you a reading from the Divine Office for Thursday of week 1 of the Psalter of evening prayer. And it's from 1 Peter chapter 1, 6 to 9. This is a cause of great joy for you, even though you may for a short time have to bear being plagued by all sorts of trials, so that when Jesus Christ is revealed, your faith will have been tested and proved like gold. Only it is more precious than gold, which is corruptible, even though it bears testing by fire. And then you will have praise and glory and honor. You did not see him, yet you loved him. And still without seeing him, you are already filled with a joy so glorious that it cannot be described because you believe. And you are sure of the end to which your faith looks forward, that is the salvation of your souls. Apologies for the phone ringing. But what is this reading saying to you? What is it saying to your heart? Well, I know that in my heart, I am so greatly inspired when I meet brothers and sisters who say they have a love affair with their Jesus, our Jesus. Jesus the barefoot Galilean, Jesus the Rabbi, Jesus the Son of God, Jesus who is a great spiritual master, whose teachings have survived 2,000 years, despite his followers, many of whom in positions of trust, such as the popes, such as various ministers, abusing their position. But we take heart because God is much bigger than man's foibles and silliness. But I meet also many people, especially recently when I started tweeting, who say, I'm in love with Jesus. I love Jesus. Well, my question to you is this. I love Jesus too. But then what? What do I do with that love? What does that love inspire me to do? To become a closeted Christian? Or does it inspire my heart to be like Jesus? To be a peacemaker? Not to be all-inclusive and exclusive, but to reach out to all brothers and sisters regardless of their belief. I am greatly inspired by the Beatitudes of Christ, the Sermon on the Mount. I am also heartened when I see what Jesus did for the Samaritan woman. And her response to him provoked a very powerful response from Jesus. But there's no use saying, I love Jesus, if in my life my heart is closed. I know I can only speak for myself, but my heart was closed to fear. Fear, I guess, fed from a belief in a God not of love. Oh yes, the textbook and the holy books all said that God is a God of love, but I never felt that love. When I look back on my younger years, I realize that I allowed fear control my life. And that sadly affected my relationship with God. Now, because I'm older and wiser, I've had the courage to step aside from my religious family, and on the outside looking in, I can see a much bigger picture. And I can see that many are still held in fear. And I'm aware that many buy into that fear because they're afraid of offending their church or God. But is that what God wants? So if someone says to me, I love Jesus, then I say, and? But in their lives, many are in turmoil. They know that they're in relationships that they shouldn't be in. They know that in business, they take shortcuts, and they're not always as honest with the tax inspector as they should. They know that they pile a lot of their investments into offshore bank accounts to avoid paying tax, so that the ordinary person, their brother and sister, who also love Jesus, struggles to make ends meet. So it's an interesting scenario, isn't it? Because there's no use you saying to me, I love Jesus, or me saying to you, oh, I love Jesus, but I'm going to carry on as before, taking shortcuts, gambling my relationship with a loving Jesus for the sake of a fast buck, or for the sake of winning your approval. And though I have been at the other end of many people's tongues, where I've been ridiculed and even defamed on the internet, I take heart, because my conscience is clear and my heart is open to constructive criticism. But if you're a follower of this great teacher, as we all are, and if you're holding back and there are skeletons in your cupboard, wouldn't it be a good idea to open the wardrobe and to let some light on those skeletons and dust them down? Wouldn't it be a good idea to bring them out into the open, to acknowledge that they're there, to bless them and release them to this guy Jesus? And yet many have great issues with that. They have different faces for different people. And I suppose it's about feeling safe, isn't it? But Jesus doesn't condemn us. He loves us. And I would like to read this to you just to confirm what I'm trying to say. I brush your face as you lay sleeping with a caress so tender, for I fear to wake the warrior in my arms. And my heart skips a beat when I recall how your eyes stare deeply into mine. We have embraced countless journeys, not always recognizing or understanding the where and the why, yet sensing we will meet again, body and soul fused by an eternal bond, a merging of female strength and gentleness, a union that time and space defy. But here in this moment with me, you lie blessed, that our enduring love continues to make my heart skip a beat. That was a channeled message from Jesus, not to me, but to someone I respect and someone I know who tests the waters of their information. And this is the most beautiful reflection for today. I brush your face as you lay sleeping with a caress so tender, for I fear to wake the warrior in my arms. And the key word there is warrior in my arms. This gentle Jesus, whom we say we love, now invites us to do something practical about that love. To be a respecter of all people and all faiths. Not to sit in judgment or slander another because their ideologies, political correctness, or their religious beliefs don't resonate with ours. We are not here to sit in judgment. We are here to put the love of our Jesus into action. We are here to demonstrate it in a practical way. And what better way than to walk alongside the marginalized, those whom society rejects, the mentally ill, the disabled, those whose lifestyles are totally different to ours, those who have difficulty comprehending a loving God when they're suffering so much injustice from God's children. Let us rest in the arms of the Beloved and allow him wake the warrior within. God bless you.